Thomas, how are you?
Hello, mate. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm literally, you've caught me 20 seconds post evil look from Jess.
Oh, God.
Because Matilda, I was putting the boys to bed, and Matilda was up there doing my head in, so I told her to get out while I put the boys to bed. And there was banana skin on the floor, and she's pretended to fall over on the banana skin, but she's rubbed banana into the carpet. And then Jess has just gone to put Matilda to bed, and she's like, "Tom, what's this all over the carpet?" I'm like, "Oh, that's where Matilda's just fallen over on the banana." She's like, "You can't leave banana, it stains." I'm like, "Well, all right."
That's absolute classic. So that's like a proper Mario Kart. I'm going to fall over on the...
She was joking. She wasn't like actually like trying to fall over on it and like get some attention. She was just playing around. But yeah.
Anyway. That's quality then. Yeah, I get that all the time. Like, oh, I'll do that later. I'll pick that up later.
Yeah.
Never happens.
And then get told off for not doing it.
Just get absolutely bollocking for it. But
so yeah, good. Apart from that though, I don't know.
Great. Sounds great. And
right? What's your last 30 seconds just been like?
Not as eventful as that. Quite peaceful actually. I'm working. So
do you know what you look like with that background? Like you sat in the corner of like just a room. Like, are you sat on the floor?
No, I'm sat in a room.
Okay.
I'm sat in basically a booth, like a soundproof booth. But it does look like, kind of looks like I'm in, almost one of those mental asylums where it's like padded walls to stop me hurting myself. Yeah. But yeah, that's
you're a few years away from that just yet.
The rate I'm going, mate, I'll be there fucking quicker than expected. First things first, congratulations are in order, right? On the promotion or getting into the playoffs. Sorry for
promotion.
I'm all over the place. Getting into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Go on, Northampton.
Yeah, the Saints, mate, are in the playoffs. How good?
Oh, go on. The Saints go marching in. Is that what the boys will be singing?
Yeah, we thought we'd fucked it because we got beat by London Irish a couple of weeks ago, but we then beat Sarries and then we beat Newcastle pretty convincingly on Friday night.
Did Newcastle not turn up?
Yeah, something like that. We were good and they weren't great. I think there's a few things going on at that club, like loads of lads leaving and whatnot. So, but we were good, mate. So it wasn't just that we won that, and then there was Sarries played Irish on Sunday, and we needed Sarries to win, and they did. So it meant we're in the top 4. So yeah, that's in a couple of weeks' time.
And who are you playing?
Sarries away. So that'll be tough. But playoff footy, mate. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen, mate. Anything can happen. Good to hear. Well, it's been a couple of weeks since we last recorded. Why was that? Because you cancelled on me last week.
Yeah, I forgot. We had the club dinner last Wednesday.
It's honestly, it's not good enough.
I know. Do you know what's not good enough? The timing of it. Like if I'd have given you a bit of notice in advance, that's fine. But 20 minutes before we're supposed to record, probably not good enough.
Hey, my life is so scheduled down to the T that you telling me you're out 20 minutes beforehand it threw me for the day. Mate, I don't think I recovered from that day.
Listen to right? So we had a club dinner last Wednesday, and then we were travelling up to Newcastle on the Thursday fairly early. So I was like, last minute, I was like, "Oh, do you know what? I need to book a hotel here because there's no point me driving back to get back up again in 8-9 hours time."
Yeah.
So I went on I went to go and book a hotel. There's an Ibis in the middle of town. And it was 120 quid, and I was like, fuck that. Tight Northerner, no chance. So I went on lastminute.com, found this little room. It was called like the Hampton House or something. And I was like, well, there you go. That looks all right, like Airbnb or something like that. Didn't really look into it, but just booked it. It was 50 quid, happy days. Rocked up, mate, and just rock up in some random housing estate. I thought it was called like the Hampton House, and then I read it properly, like 35, the Hampton House.
Oh no!
I said it was number 35. Mate, some like random like American German blokes just answered the door, and then basically what happened is I'm just in his spare room. It was absolutely bizarre, mate. I think he just rents out his spare room, and I was in there, mate, basically with his family. I had to use his iron at one point, and honestly, he was in the kitchen cleaning his oven, and I was like moving around like tins of beans and stuff to try and get to his iron, and then just set it up next to him while he was cleaning his oven. Honestly,
please no.
Bizarre. Slept with one eye open, and then got out early doors in the morning.
Did you have to like sneak out and not bang the door too loud in case you woke the family up?
He was he was like, make sure you lock the door whenever you leave. He was like showing me into the bathroom, and he was like, if you have a shower, keep the window open. If you do a poo, keep the window open. I was like, what have I come to here? This is mental. I was like, sack it, I'll do it. And then I woke up every hour in panic, wondering where the hell I was, but I've survived it and lived to tell the tale. So
first of all, you tight bastard.
I know. It's 120 quid, mate. 120 quid, mate. We're not all like you, mate, living up in New York.
Nothing like peace of mind and not having to sleep with one eye open. 50 quid to go. Yeah, staying on a council estate in some man's spare room.
Yeah. That's survived. It was quite nice.
Quite nice. Mate, do you know what, Tom? That just shows you are a man of the people. No, it doesn't matter how much fame you get in your rugby career. You are always a man of the people.
That's what I'm here for it, mate. I'm here for the boys.
But yeah, so there's a lot. Well, we've got a lot to really catch up on then, haven't we? From the last 2 weeks. Hey, I had a fucking fire on my road.
Oh yeah,
full blown bad one. It was 4 houses down, completely. It destroyed 3 houses. Like it was like a 20 fire engine type fire. Like
really?
It was real
when
bad.
You say destroyed, have they like burned to the ground or something?
But one of them's burnt to the ground. Another one. Listen to this poor bugger. So it happened at number 15. That burnt to the ground. Number 17 was pretty badly damaged, not livable for like 12 months. This happened on the Friday. The guy at number 17 was having an open house on the Sunday to sell his house. Completely ruined. He was under contract for someone for another house. So he was basically he was in a chain, just about to sell his to get in. Absolute disaster. They've got a young kid as well. It was fucking.
How? I assume no one's hurt, injured.
No one. No, everyone was safe.
How did it start?
I don't know. There's, when the rumor mill starts, insurance claims.
Come on, give us some. What are the best rumors coming out of there?
There's construction 2 buildings up. So some people are like, we saw them welding on the roof, and then some magnesium flew over onto their roof, and then honestly, it gets even worse. And then the people that we saw all the builders running, that meant they're all illegal immigrants. They don't have any work visas. And then it was like, what else happened? Then it was somebody else was like, it was a landlord set the roof on fire because they wanted to buy the plot of land and develop on it. Oh, mate, the rumor mill on our street. It's like Coronation Street.
But how would it start?
Oh, fuck knows. It started by the looks of it, started on the roof. So who knows? But we're 23, so 17, 19 were all badly damaged. 21 escaped because it was hidden, but ours, we've got like some damage to the side of our house. So we've got radiant heat damage, and we're like 70 feet away. So it was a real bad one. But the kids were at daycare. But Robin's parents got into town on the Thursday night, and on the fucking Friday, everyone's bailing out of the house. It was at like 2:00 in the afternoon as well. Mental. Really? That was that. We did our. What else have we been up to with the girls? So yeah, we had Robin's parents in town. They were in town for 10 days, which was great. Extra pair of hands, mate.
Yeah, fucking lovely.
There's nothing like, even just like, everyone. We were all. I didn't exactly have a lie-in, but we were all getting up at the same time. But it was just having like, you can just sit there and have a coffee while somebody's feeding the kid, right?
It's just easier when people are there, even if you're kind of still doing everything that you'd usually do. It's just nice to have some company and
yeah. I'm sure her parents have gone back now, being like, "Fucking hell, I need another holiday from being over with us." Yeah. But that it was great to have them and an extra pair of hands. Honestly, like you said, it's just having somebody else there to be like, "Can you just hold this kid? Can you just do this?" But we had them for 10 days. That was great. we started baby yoga on a Sunday morning. So music and yoga.
This. Is it for the parents or is it the babies?
It's basically like music. It's like a music class, right? So you come in. It's for I think it's for 3 months and above to like 2 or 3 years. But it's all very much like different yoga poses it's all for the kids, right? But the parents.
What you put in the girls in different yoga poses?
Oh, I mean, not really. They're just like bombing around. Some of the older kids are doing it, but the lady that does it, she's called the other Miss Rachel. She's great, and it's basically 45 minutes of the kids playing with musical instruments.
Is she just counting her money in the corner?
No, she's great. She's unreal. She's very theatrical. She is really awesome.
Talk me through the inspiration behind this. Why have you got the girls into this?
Mate, just for something fucking to do. It's not like I want my kids to do like yoga heads or anything. It's literally
just like a class.
It's a class, mate. Yeah. Like rugby tots or anything like that. It's just 10 a.m. on a Sunday, an hour. Just entertainment for them.
Yeah, give you a bit of like routine on the Sunday, doesn't it? Do some structure.
Mate, that's it. So they just bomb around. Parker, Ryan, they're just flying around, interacting with the other kids. They love it as well. They're not intimidated by it at all. They're right in the middle in the room. But yeah, it's just something to do, honestly, mate.
What's the movement update on the girls?
Oh, fucking hell, we're right there. We're nearly there. Parker, this weekend, stood up on her own. When they're just sat down, and then she's getting up.
Was she giving it the old wobbly legs, and you're like, oh?
Mate, no, literally, straight up and down. And we were all like, oh, what? Unreal. I was like, oh my God. I was like, it's happening. It is happening. Ryan's just a little bit further behind. She's pulled herself up. So she's just now cruising along. But she'll be there. Parker, I think, we'll probably get a message from daycare being like, Parker took her first steps today.
Yeah.
Very soon. Ryan's not far behind at all.
Ryan's still bum shuffling.
She mixes in between. Depends how fast she wants to go right now. So if she wants to go fast, she'll bum shuffle. But if she's just plodding along, she'll crawl normally. But yeah, the baby yoga thing's been great for them. Just for the crack of it as well, and just the organisation, just the what's what I'm looking for here, just the routine for us. But the movement is we're so close, mate, so close. And that's where I'm like,
I don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does life get easier when that happens, or?
Do you know what? So they'll start walking, and then they'll start want to walk everywhere, and it just means if ever you go into town, or a lot of the moments you have them in the pram or the buggy, the stroller. What do you call it?
Stroller.
The stroller.
Yeah.
They might kick off because they want to be out of it because they know they can walk.
Right.
Obviously, you're unlikely to be walking with them in the middle of Manhattan, aren't you? Because it's carnage.
That's it. Yeah. So it's right. Okay. So it's more the frustration of them, being like, "Fuck, I can walk now. Why are you keeping me a prisoner?"
Yeah. And obviously they're higher, so in the house they can get around, get to more things.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
All
there is
sort of stuff, yeah.
Honestly, mate. There is just I don't think we ever realized how many fucking places those kids get.
Yeah.
I put something down, and if it could be a shoe in the other side of the room, and one of them is over there within seconds.
Yeah, probably putting it in the mouth or something.
100%. One of the funny things that happened this week is they've both got toy phones, they just make noises and stuff like that. But Parker's, we were in the car over the weekend, and Parker's just got the phone like this to her ear. I was like, what? She's literally just having a full-blown. She's having a full-blown conversation in the phone. I was like, what the fuck is going on there? But do you know what it just reminded me of? They're so impressionable right now. They just copy everything, right? Even at this young age. I've got to be so careful with my mouth when those kids can start talking, because my mouth is awful.
Yeah.
Too much swearing. My mother tells me off.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Imagine me, because I'm in the changing room and then trying to flip out of that, going on to like a playground or something. I always catch myself and like I say half a word and I'm like, then stop.
Yeah, it's you got to be so careful. What's going on with you?
I feel like we've been really busy, because what did we do? Wednesday, we obviously just like training, routine, all that normal stuff. And then had training, club dinner on Wednesday, went to Newcastle on Thursday, played Friday night, got back to Northampton at 3 a.m. Friday night, drove back here.
Oh, that's brutal.
So I got back at 4 a.m. So you're just catching up, aren't you, really?
Yeah.
Jess was good, though. Jess did Matilda's gymnastics on a Saturday morning, and then from there took them all to rugby tots. So took the boys to rugby tots. So I got up at like 9:30.
So what you're saying is you've been an absent father since we last spoke?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because we had a nice day on Saturday. We had like a nice day on Saturday, family day. Do you know what geocaching is?
No.
So it's basically like a treasure trail, or like a map sort of like hunt.
Right.
But it's all around, I think it's all around England. I'd imagine it'll be done in other places as well. There's a free version, then you can upgrade, and then if you upgrade, there's more. You see that more available. But basically, you get a clue and a destination, and you have to go and find it. So, like the one at the weekend, for example, was I'm hidden under a massive sunflower. I am magnetic, and then we went and found the sunflower in the middle of Kenilworth.
Yeah.
Pulled out this little fake magnetic screw. You unscrew it, and in the middle is like a scroll. And you write your team name down, put it back in, put it back, and hide it again for someone else to find. And there's just loads of them around.
That's pretty cool.
Did you? Was right in her element.
Oh, I bet she is. Did you do the free version, or did you upgrade?
Well, that's the first one we've done, because we want to see what it was actually like. So free at the moment, mate. You know?
So hey, you ain't upgrading. If you're paying $50, if you're going to stay in a council estate instead of paying for $120,
mate. Keeps me honest, mate. It's good for me. It's good for me.
Matilda, that is the end of that, Matilda. You know that thing you really enjoyed last Saturday? Daddy'd have to pay for it now. I'm not doing that ever again.
Yeah. They've cancelled it. Just trying to explain it to her.
You've completed it.
Anymore. Weird.
You've absolutely completed it already.
Yeah. So that was us on Saturday. To be fair, the boys loved it as well. They're just charging around. They like the freedom. And then on Sunday, we went to Wembley, which was yesterday, because we're recording on Monday today, aren't we?
It was a Monday. This is the first ever time we've recorded on a Monday.
It is. So yeah, I was at Wembley yesterday, mate, to watch the FA Cup semi-final.
So what? Then you drove back after that?
Yeah. So it's been a busy week, mate. So I've been to Newcastle and back, London and back.
Mate, the one end of the country to the other.
Stayed at a random German American guy's gaff in between.
Mate, what's even more random is it's German American.
It's called Jazz as well. JAS. What's that short for? What do you reckon his real name is?
Jasdeep?
Jasper?
Jasdeep, maybe? I don't know.
Jasdeep?
Jasdeep, yeah.
Jasmina? Are you joking? That's the first thing that comes to mind is Jasdeep. That's not a name, mate.
No, trust me. When you're in recruitment and you recruit software engineers, there's a lot of Jasdeeps. There are a lot of Jasdeeps.
I think he just rents out his spare room, mate, and that's his income. So I don't think he's a software engineer.
Trust me, mate. He's having your pants down for that. Council estate, £50 and that.
But anyway, digress. So it's been busy. Wembley was mint yesterday. Seen a couple of lads. Jess has just put the kettle on, so that's class. Can hear that in the background. She's fuming at me because I didn't clean up the banana. This is a payback.
Honestly, like I kind of feel as if this probably the last 10 days, Robin and I have not clashed is probably the wrong word, but like we had an argument at maybe 2 a.m. Over
2 a.m.
I'm at 2 a.m. because I'm gonna dress this. I'm gonna paint the picture for you now. Ryan obviously with the RSV, she's always had a bad cough, right? And it's kind of disappeared, and then it kind of came back, but not to the point where it was like, oh God, we need to go to the doctors or anything like that. But we've always said, we've always had, if the kids wake up at night, we just, unless they're sick, right? Unless you're like, fuck, one of them's vomited or something like that, we tend to leave them, right? Rightly or wrongly, we tend to leave them and don't go in to
you don't want to get them used to get you going in, do you?
Exactly, right? And we've been pretty strict with that from sort of day one, like letting them soothe themselves, put themselves back to bed. You know, there was a moment in time where they were sick, where they kept throwing up when they're in their bed at like the middle of the night. You just got to go in and fucking change them. That's that's pretty brutal. Do you? Could you get away with just leaving them there? Really? But Ryan had a couple of coughing fits this last week, and Robin's like, we've got to go in. And that was maybe on the Tuesday night, and I was like, fucking no way. I was like, stand strong. We've got to stick together on this. So we didn't that night. Wednesday night, it happened again, but she went back to sleep on the Tuesday, absolutely fine. She had a little bit of a longer coughing fit this time, and we went in. Oh my Lord, the biggest mistake we ever made. Because just like for the next 2 hours, but because we were in there, Parker's up as well, right?
Did you go in together?
I went in first, and was trying to soothe Ryan, and then I couldn't soothe her, so Robin came in and we tried to help, and then all we heard in the corner was Parker stirring, and we both just like froze to try and hide in the room, and all of a sudden she just erupts.
Oh my God, that's giving
when
you reminisce.
Mate, so when you just like get back into bed and I'm like this, it's like 2 a.m. I'm like, I fucking told you. And she's like, would you fuck off? You're like, oh my God. And this just happens. We just have a right slagging match for the next like 20 minutes. And then it's like, you're like this because she's crying. But Robin also has the Manic camera on 24/7. So there's a slight delay, right? So you hear the girls crying in the room, but then there's a slight delay till it comes on the camera, and then you hear it on the camera as well. So I'm like, I'm hearing this twice, and I'm like,
have it on if you can hear it anyway.
Don't even
stoke the fire. Love it.
Fucking stir the pot, mate. This is another source of argument that we always. Argument's the wrong word. Another source of confrontation that Robin always wins. A debate, right?
Let's compromise. You win.
Let's compromise. It stays on, turned loud. So Robin, so we always have the Nanic camera on. I think I don't know. We've always done it, right? And we've always had the sound on as well. So, yeah, that was one of my things this week of like, just having.
Yes. Sorry, Jess is a Halo top in there if you want some.
Oh, they're fucking brilliant, those Halo tops, by the way. Do you have the little ice cream ones or the pop?
On the stick. The tub.
What flavour do you have?
I've seen it before. It was a strawberry cheesecake one. Never had it before.
Oh, never had that. Sea salt caramel or fudge brownies, man. I'm 100 calories of pure bliss.
You're too much.
I am too much.
You are too much. Go on.
No, that was good. Should we keep that Halo Top bit in? Sponsored by Halo Top. So yeah, that was 2 a.m.
You can't be arguing at 2 a.m. Like, surely you're just sorting that out in the morning. Just roll over, face opposite ways. We'll sort that out in the morning. What are you arguing about? Like, why does it have to go on for so long? You both trying to get the last word.
Sort of.
Not bad.
But then, yeah,
no, you're not bad.
Yeah, it's like. It's like fuck off. Yeah.
Not bad.
And then I say it under my breath, and she's like, I fucking heard that, you wank. Oh, because I'm always just like, they'll be fine. But I actually have bad history of that, because when the girls did have RSV, I was like, they're fine. Yeah. And then there was the one day where they were just not fine, and we went to the doctors.
I remember you said that, didn't you? And you took them in, didn't you?
Yeah, and I fucking ate some real bad humble pie for that. So I do see where she's coming from, but when it's just a cough, and I was like, we've always said just let them settle, don't go back in, so on and so forth. But yeah. Anyway.
I always think with I don't know if we go in if they're really, really, really badly coughing,
yeah,
could potentially go in. I always think it's more so when they're kicking off or crying. There's a line between just a little bit of a cry and that cry where you're like, oh shit, I actually need to go and see him now. Because it just goes, doesn't it? It reaches a level.
Yeah, it does reach a level, and you've got to find. Yeah, you'll make those mistakes where you'll go in and fucking, you'll be like, you little shit. Also, one of the reasons was because I'd had gone in and picked Ryan up and she'd been fine. Yeah. So I was like, I know there's nothing like too bad or there's nothing crazy wrong with you. And I put her back in, and then Robin, that was it. And then Robin sent me, that's why we argued, because I've been fucking in and she's absolutely fine. And then she was like, you need to go back in. So I went back in, and then it woke everyone up, and it was brilliant. It was like on the hour, every hour. But you know what happened? I don't even know why I'm complaining about this. I was like to Robin in the morning, I was like, she was fine once she went back to sleep. Robin was like, are you fucking mad? She was up every hour on the hour. You just stayed asleep through the whole thing.
Oh. Do you know what? Do you reckon that actually happened? Or do you reckon she's like, you were asleep?
She's doing that thing again.
She's just been like, yeah, I might try that tonight, actually. Like, how did you sleep last night? Yeah, well, I don't know. All right. I was like, you didn't wake up when the lads were up, did you?
Yeah, God, I was in with the lads.
Oh, yeah, that's a beauty, actually, definitely.
It's like that going out text where you'd be out for a bit and you'd be like, oh, the kids are really sick, you've got to come home. Yeah. You'd be like, you get home and they're fine.
They're in bed.
They're in bed. They've been asleep for ages.
Are you still showering together?
No.
My favourite update of your...
No, we haven't, because we've been in the spare room this week, so they can't. The bigger showers in our ensuite. So,
so is that what you put the in-laws in the master bedroom? Did you?
The master bedroom, yeah.
Oi.
So
maybe they were showering together.
So no comment. So no, me and my wife have not showered together to save time. So there you go. So we've.
Maybe that's why you're arguing, mate. Get back in the same room. Get back together. Bum slaps for morale. You'll be sweet.
There you go. Save some time. Everyone gets a bit more sleep. There you go. How are the boys doing at Rugby Tots?
Good. Getting better and starting to get used to. It's just literally one of those, isn't it? Because they're getting used to it. Yeah. And they're doing it more often. We've bought a couple of rugby balls for the house as well, little sponge ones. I say little sponge ones, pretty much full size.
Yeah.
And they're just getting used to catching, passing, kicking. It's it's good, mate. It's good. They're loving it, enjoying it. Good to hear.
Any updates on the potty training?
The potty training's going really well. Really well. We had an accident again today, but purely because he fell asleep in the pram on the way home.
Had he shit himself?
Yeah. No. He weed himself.
Oh, okay.
So I as I said before, if they fall asleep and something happens, like I can deal with that. Don't mind it at all. I don't see that as an accident. Charlie has smashed it. He's I would say Charlie's potty trained now. Sleeping in nappies, but I'd say he's potty trained. Finley just has the occasional time when he's just distracted and playing.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to come in and go for a wee or a poo. He just rather do it in his pants. But then obviously he's really uncomfortable and he's just stood there and you're like, oh mate, come on, just come and tell me.
Yeah, just gets a bit too excited and he's like, he's got like FOMO.
That's it. Well, he's just having such a good time. He's like, I don't want to go for a wee or a poo in the toilet. I'll just do it here.
Fair enough for the lad.
Yeah, so mate, they're doing really well. And Finley's doing really well. To be fair to him, it's just that he probably has one a day. Finley does, but mate, it's so much better than changing nappies.
Oh,
it's so much better, and it's just easier. They're more comfortable. He's just not 60 nappies to change every day. Do you know what I mean? And it's just one when they wake up morning, chuck some pants on. The one thing we've got now is that they want them to wear the same pair of pants every time. So naturally, you buy a multi-pack of pants, or you get them from the
community.
Yeah, from Lost Property. But it's like they've got a favourite pair of pants now. So it's like, you bring the box of pants down. So it's like, go on then, choose your own. If I've not got the right ones, and they have to be this same pair every time. So we've got about 60 pairs of pants, but Finley will only wear one.
Fucking hell.
It's got Triceratops on it. Great dinosaur. It is a great dinosaur. I can't argue with it.
Mate, just think of it.
Loads of pairs of pants with Triceratops on them.
There you go. Well, at least, like you said, you're not wearing diapers during the day anymore. Think of the money you can save not buying all these diapers, mate.
Yeah.
Next time you can buy yourself a nice hotel room.
Yeah. Yeah, true. To be fair, I should have worn a nappy when I was staying in his spare.
Mate, I'd have been in a
room. I was absolutely shitting myself.
I'd have been in a fucking sleeping bag, mate. Not sleeping in those fleas infested.
It's all right, mate. I'll sleep in the car. It's fine. You can keep the money.
Oh my lord! I know we were talking about earlier, mate. It's C-section awareness month of April, isn't it? And we are in the last podcast in April, right?
We are.
I know we've talked about it multiple times. You know, going through our experiences of a C-section, because as the male, as the husband, as the father for a C-section, it's very traumatic, isn't it? I know.
It's very difficult job.
Oh, mate, it's I know the women go through it, but bloody hell, it's awful for us men as well.
On that, we said last week, we were saying about with twins having a C-section, is safer. So Jess listened to the podcast and she said, well, what it is if you have identical twins, it's safer. But non-identical twins actually is the same as just giving birth anyway. So you still run the same risk as having a normal one child birth. Yeah. So it's not safer for just twins.
Are we being fact checked?
Well, no, it's good because obviously not that people are listening to us for like, oh, well, they said this, so we have to have it. But it's good to get the right information out if you're going to say it, isn't it? So that's how it is, apparently.
Didn't know that.
And I would imagine the reason because if they're sharing a placenta, aren't they? If they're identical, so I would imagine it's something to do with if one's born, does that affect the placenta? Does it stop? I don't know, and then the other one gets
honestly,
stuck.
mate, I have no fucking idea, and all I can think is...
It stops working sometimes, Jess says.
There you go.
Because it thinks the baby's been born because they share one.
Bloody hell. There you go.
She's just come down, said that.
And thrown the banana skin at you.
Yeah, no, come down, said that. Obviously, facts check in, holding a bottle of Vanish that she's just cleaned up the banana with. Now she's shaking her head at me. She's still there.
Hi, Jessica. My C-section experience, right? We were scheduled for, I think, a 8 a.m. operation to go in. We got there to the hospital at maybe 6 a.m., a couple of hours beforehand. And unfortunately, there'd been a case before us. I think that had some complications. So it kept pushing our C-section. And I think one of the things that I wasn't really aware of is just the amount of people that are in the room, because you've got to have fucking 2 teams, right?
Sorry, just in general. I didn't know if you meant the waiting room or in the operation theatre.
In the operation room. I didn't realise that they needed 2 teams. So we had to wait. So we were scheduled, I think, for 8 a.m. We didn't have our C-section until 6 p.m.
Oh, you waited that long?
Sat around. And at the same time, our doctor timed out. So our doctor that we'd been to see the whole time, our OB, Dr. Miller, came and was like, hey, listen, I'm timed out now. I can't do this operation. So we had a new team come in. But it was...
Have you seen him all the way along?
Yeah, all the way along. And don't get me wrong, because of the amount of times we were in the hospital, we'd met everyone, basically.
Yeah.
So I remember when they called Robin to be like, hey, listen, let's go. They make you wait outside. Did you have to wait outside for a minute?
Yeah.
Oh, my fucking God. Like, I remember pacing up and down. Scrubs on.
Yeah.
Did I? I heard a story, right? I wouldn't laugh about this. I don't know where I saw it, but of a C-section, and I'm probably gonna ruin this story, but am I gonna steal something from another podcast? I think I am gonna steal this from another podcast, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. That a wife went down for a C-section, and the husband came in the scrubs, and he was just wearing the scrubs and nothing on.
He's had no clothes, just a bare bum. That'd be you, that 100%.
Right.
Paper pants on underneath.
Paper pants on. It's just stood there naked. I think I've stolen that from somewhere. But I remember just waiting that like 5-10 minutes before going in and having Robin gone in, and just pacing up and down, being like, "Fucking hell, this is insane."
I had the same thing, right? And you know what Jess is like. She'll talk, and she's obviously well nervous. And I was in the room next door, same situation, in scrubs, waiting like anxiously, and I can just hear her chewing the ear off of beneath the tist. And I was like, "Oh my god, how long is this going on for?" Like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god." I don't know if they're just waiting for her to stop talking to let me in or what.
Yeah, they might just up the dosage on her quickly. Shush your mouth. I just remember being like walking back and forth, and then they're being like, Mr. Longmore, let's go, or Josh, let's go. And you walk in and it's like, it's the brightest, cleanest, sparkliest room ever. And I don't know if when you walked in, like, I just remember they had the hands over Robin's stomach because they'd obviously started to like cut her open a little bit.
Was it like half and half? So they had
so just above, her shoulders. By her head. Yeah. So then they had the what's the thing called?
Curtain, would it be?
The curtain by her shoulders. Yeah. And I had to walk from her feet, the door, past her feet.
Oh, right. So you went basically downwind.
Downwind, right? And then I went up to her head, but I walked past and I remember like walking and not trying to, being like, I don't need to look. And obviously I fucking looked.
Yeah, you always
like they were covering like, yeah, it's like, don't touch wet paint, and there you go. And I remember being like, just seeing like them obviously starting to cut her open and putting their hands over it and being like, fucking hell, here we go.
It's because obviously, I know we've mentioned it before, Matilda was born vaginally, your favourite word. And the twins were born through C-section. And it's so transactional, isn't it? Like how quick it is, and it's all very calm. And like the anaesthetists are amazing because they're the ones that are by the girls' heads, just talking them through it. Yeah. Because it must be a bizarre feeling for the girls. Like you obviously, as a male, can't even imagine what it's like.
Yeah. As a male, you just sat up there as support more than anything, aren't you?
Yeah, like you're cheerleading.
Yeah, you are literally like, to go to just caveat our conversation here, like the what the women and what our wives went through it is truly incredible. I'm getting the credit in with Robin again here. My rock, Robin. But it is, and Robin says it's like the most bizarre feeling that she's ever felt. But I just remember being at the top, and you're almost just like looking at your missus, being like, "Fucking hell, this
half your body's chopped off down there, and you're just chatting away."
Robin's just looking at me, being like, I just remember. I can't remember. I don't know if she was in like shock or she was just looking, and you're just waiting for them to be like, right, let's go. The baby's here and that kind of thing.
I mean, it happens very, very quickly. I don't know what the actual time.
We were a minute in between our babies.
Yeah. Well, I know it was 2 minutes between, but I mean, from spinal to cutting open to stitching back up. I don't know how long it is, but it doesn't seem like a long time. It could be 20 minutes. It could be, which doesn't seem ridiculous.
No,
but it almost felt like that. My recollection of it is that we were kind of having a chat. Like, "Are you okay? How you getting on?"
Yeah.
And then the anaesthetist trying to distract from just trying to have a normal conversation, aren't they? And it felt like mid conversation, the Charlie came out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it was like, "Oh, What? Oh, really? Okay. And even Jess was surprised because I think she couldn't feel anything.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I'd say the next one follows. Finley follows 2 minutes later. I think it was for us.
That was it.
Like, wow, that happened very quickly and was very, kind of not very traumatic considering it was, massive operation and whatnot.
Yeah, well, not traumatic for us anyway. I remember for the women, for the misses. I remember they went to us. Oh, here, they just like popped one over the top and were like, "Here's the little one," right? I don't know if I've ever said this to you before, but Robin and I, after the C-section and after everything, they whisked the girls off and they took them to the NICU. Robin and I were sat in a room afterwards, and we both looked at each other and we were like, "Did Parker, or I can't remember if it was Ryan. I think it may have been Ryan. They were like, did Ryan look like?" And Robin goes, "Voldemort." I don't know, for any Harry Potter fans out there, when they drop Voldemort in the cauldron, and he comes back to life. One of my children looked like that when she was born, and we both were just like creasing ourselves laughing.
Decided against that name though.
Yeah.
Or is that a middle name?
The other one's called Hermione. Not bad. But yeah, it was such an incredible thing. And I remember after both of them were born, I got a tap on the shoulder from one of the nurses to be like, "You ready to cut the umbilical cords now?" And fuck me, that took me by surprise. Did you cut the umbilical cord?
No, because they were whisked off before.
Really?
Yeah, they were got into Skaboo before even, like literally probably within a minute. So I didn't actually see Jess get stitched up. I went with the kids because we'd pre-agreed that if they get rushed off, I'll go with them, as long as obviously she was all right.
Yeah.
She said, "Yeah, you go, and we'll catch up afterwards."
Fucking Nora. The woman tapped me on the shoulder, and I was like, I almost wanted to say no, but I was like, fucking, it was mental. Like cutting that, I was like, ugh, it still gives me a bit of the heebie-jeebies now.
Like seeing the placenta in the cord.
Just like, mate, it's just like, it's really like tough. Like, it's kind of tough. And I remember cutting through it, and I remember thinking the woman was like, "Cut here," and I was like, "Oh, this is bizarre, man." But yeah, no, we didn't. I cut both of them. They're both fine when they went on the table, and then it was only after that they took them both down to NICU. At least I got to see them both for 5-10 minutes. But,
were you semi-prepared for them to be taken away?
Yeah.
I think so. It's obviously daunting anyway, even if you are kind of prepared or you think it might happen.
Yeah.
But then, seeing it happens a little bit more like, oh shit,
this is that's it. Yeah, no, we were prepared. I think the girls definitely came out lighter than we thought they would have been. Ryan just under 3 pounds and Parker 4.7.
Yeah.
We thought they'd both be around 5 pounds, but no, they were much lighter. So, thank God, they were whisked off. But your role as a man, right? You're just a cheerleader there for that C-section, aren't you?
It's tough though because you are helpless. It is tough.
Yeah.
Sure. I would never say that you'd rather be the person doing it because
no,
it's
no way.
It's a savage thing, mate. And I think that's what I mean. Like the operation itself, because you're numbed, and obviously the girls' adrenaline must be going, and it's kind of transactional, and you're in and out. And it probably happens quite quickly. But then the way Jess recovered, was just, it took her by surprise. I think it just took her ages to recover. I don't know whether it was the twin birth or whether it was just, I don't know how she would have recovered from a C-section anyway with one child or what. But it just took her maybe 2-3 days to really kind of get back to feeling semi sort of okay.
Yeah.
Don't know if the spinal just took a bit longer to wear off than what she thought, but she she was absolutely exhausted and struggling for a couple of days, and then I think we finally managed to get her on her feet to go for a shower after a couple of failed attempts to get her in a wheelchair across to go and see Charlie and Finley, who were in Skaboo in a different part of the hospital.
Yeah, what really made me what I took comfort out of is when they were stitching Robin back up, like all the nurses, because the big team were all just chatting about what they were doing at the weekend. So I was like, right, okay, we're all right here. We're ready to rock and roll. But yeah, that was.
Mate, they're amazing though, aren't they? I mean, there must be loads of them every day. Maybe not twin births, but they obviously births every day. Yeah. They're very calming, like influences, aren't they? Obviously surgeons are calm, and anaesthetists, nurses, etc. All really good.
It's almost like a military operation, isn't it? Everything's just fucking nailed on. We're thankful for everyone that was involved in that. Yeah, it's incredible. You had any? So that's our version, a male account of the C-section, the much easier side of things. What about you had any dad thoughts this week?
I saw, I don't know if it's dad thoughts or not, but there was a post that kind of started going around, and it was, depends on what context it was taken in, but it was basically a post that said that when a dad looks after their child or changes a nappy or feeds their child or takes them swimming, basically just fulfills his duty, he's seen as then a great dad. And he's amazing. He's put on a pedestal. Whereas when a mum does it, it's just her job. That's like the perception.
Yeah.
And I was just, it did get me thinking. I think the first time I saw it, I was a bit like, oh, that's a bit, controversial, and like, oh, a bit harsh on the dads who are just kind of trying to be good dads or whatever.
Yeah.
But actually, I can see that when you think about it, the girls are the ones who I think we've laughed about it on here loads of times, where the girls are just the ones that generally will take. They call it mental load, don't they?
Yeah.
So and I can actually empathise with it a little bit, because, like you were saying, when you walk with the stroller and the girls are in it and the grannies are looking at you thinking, "Oh, what a great dad," and you're like, taking it in and like, "Yeah, do you know what? I am a great dad."
Yeah.
But for the girls, obviously, it's there's a mum with the kids.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you see that all the time, don't you? It's just, it's, I don't know, like you said, it is eye-opening and it makes you think.
And I think it comes to like work as well, because obviously it's different for you actually in America, isn't it? It's different because Robin went back to work. Did Robin go back after 8 months?
8 months, yeah.
8 months. But they even push it even sooner, don't they?
Mat leave is like 3 months.
Yeah, mad, absolutely mad. But for the girls, it's like a round the clock job. Is looking after the kids, and it's expected of them. They obviously get maternity leave and whatnot. Whereas the dads kind of get back to work almost straight away. And although you go to work and you come back and you're back into obviously your family routine, looking after babies again, you get that sort of that adult conversation and that normality of a normal life away from just kids all the time.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see why girls would be annoyed or sort of frustrated by the fact that the men come home and almost look like they take the glory a little bit, where there's the girls do the nitty gritty sort of day in, day out, don't they?
Yeah, for sure. And listen, I'm gonna lap it up when I get the applause from all of them.
100%.
My dad thought is not as serious as that, Thomas. That was a serious dad thought.
I reworded what you say about Robin then, basically.
Yeah.
Like you saying, "Oh, Robin's my rock. I love her so much. She's amazing."
Yeah.
Grow up, mate. I just reworded it to give it a bit of
give
it a bit of oomph, mate.
You just said it was something you saw on Instagram, and you wanted to. You basically you're a coward. You're an absolute coward, and you're scared of Jess when you get off this because you didn't clean up the banana.
Yeah, she's actually not even cleaned it up. She's just got the vanish out for me.
Yeah, give Jas a call back. Give Jas Deep a call back. See if he's got his room. You're going to need that, son.
I'm moving in,
mate. Jas Deep. One thing I thought this week was, like, the things that I used to think were like mine, i.e., or just things that I thought I could have time to do, or I controlled, like what I wanted to put on the TV, right? That fucking shit, that TV is not my TV anymore, right? It's even when United were on yesterday, I'd be watching it on my phone, and the kids would be watching it on the TV in the main room. Like, I'm like, where is my life? Where is my control gone? And will I ever get it back?
Are you there, mate? I am so here for this, because this is with food, with everything. Like now, if I make a smoothie, like a protein smoothie or whatever, legend, professional. Yeah. And mate, now you know the big, a NutriBullet.
Yeah.
You know the big fucker that's like, it probably holds like 1.5 liters, 2 liters, a liter maybe, probably a liter, maybe 2. But it's not enough for all of us, because Matilda wants one, the boys want one, Jess sometimes want one. I may have to make like 2.
Oh my god, mate, that is shocking.
It's an absolute joke. I'm then sharing my breakfast, so after they've had their breakfast, so I'll make breakfast, start my breakfast, especially if it's on a day off or something, so they've eaten before me, and then all of a sudden I'm like, they're eating my breakfast. I'm like, right, I'll have to make you as well now. Oh mate, honestly, it absolutely kills me. Wasting away. I have to share every plate of dinner I have.
If we listen back to this, you are just gonna go. You're basically complaining, I've got to fucking feed my kids. Fuck's sake.
I'll feed my kids, but I have to feed them about 50 times, mate.
Oh, mate, isn't that like right now, every 2-3 hours, I'm like, are we fucking feeding these two again? But yeah, nothing is your own. Nothing is your own. All right. That is been our last episode of April. Busy old month in April. I think we did 3 podcasts in April. So
good from us, that.
That's very good. Very good from us. But yeah, thank you very much to everyone. Please keep your messages, if anyone's still fucking listening 52 minutes into this podcast, keep your messages coming. Any questions you have, please subscribe, like, share, to any parents, twin dads, twin mums, whoever. We appreciate the company, so it's not just me, Tom, my mum, and Joy on this podcast. But thank you very much, and we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.